Hello and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports for very interesting news. SNYMAN set for return to South Africa? Question mark. A very interesting story coming out in a report yesterday. And an interesting concept really with the World Cup winner being linked with the return to playing his domestic rugby in South Africa after a really bad time at Munster, really in terms of injuries. And it sounds like the injury that he had, which initially sounded like was going to be pretty minor, is a lot more serious than we feared. Although we hoped rather. So yeah, before I get into exactly what the report had to say, please do smash the like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel as well. Right, so SNYMAN is currently contract with Munster, but his contract does come up to an end in the end of the season, which means that currently there'll be contract renewal negotiations over the next few months. Now, he is currently recovering from surgery on a pectoral muscle, which apparently he suffered during the World Cup final, and is expected to be on the sidelines for between 4 to 6 months, which is disastrous. I mean, that puts him in a time frame in sort of April, May type of sort of timeline. So, you know, at this stage, we're not even entirely sure he'll actually play again for Munster, and it's just a move that hasn't worked. And you know, it's incredible when you look at how unlucky he's been with his injuries. When you think that, you know, ACL injuries, you think of then the fire pit incident where he then, you know, had to have skin graft surgery, you know, and stuff like that. So he's had basically everything under the sun, which prevents him from playing for Munster. And he's been there for what I think this would be his third season or fourth season, something stupid. And he's made 10 appearances for them. In fact, he's actually spent more minutes playing for the Springboks this year than he has for his entire Munster career. And I think that kind of sums up a move that just hasn't gone to plan. And it's difficult really because you can't blame the player. But as the club, you must be sitting there thinking this has been a bad investment. It really has. You know, they've gone and signed what they thought were getting one of the best locks in the world. And they do have one of the best locks in the world, but he's not available. He's played just 10 matches, you know. And I'd be very surprised if right now they'd be looking at saying, right, well, you know, is this worth a big contract? I think before this injury, I think they would have been sitting there saying, yeah, we got to get him down. We got to keep him in for another season. Look at the rugby he's playing at the World Cup. He seems to be over his knee injuries. You know, here we go. But this is going to be the third injury, and he's just not going to be involved in the campaign at all. And you've got to just sort of sit there and make a business decision. You sit there saying, is he worth the money? Is it worth the risk? And I think my gut says probably no. You know, they're probably far better off investing in John Klein, who has been available for Munster, has played for them consistently over the last few years, and no longer qualifies as a homegrown player, basically, because he's no longer Irish qualified. You know, so it's going to be an interesting one. In terms of where he can come, apparently more than one South African URC side is interested in bringing him back to South Africa. But obviously they're going to face a lot of competition from overseas. Now, in terms of the clubs that he can come back here, I think it's probably a two-horse race between the the Sharks and the Bulls. That would be my guess. Bulls is obviously where he came from, and can make a return there. Sharks, we all know they've got the money, and this is a very Sharks-type signing where they are at the moment. I think that Stormers, to be honest, I think Stormers are pretty stacked at lock. I think Bulls would make the most sense from a playing personnel point of view. Well, actually, the Lions make the most sense from a personnel point of view because they could really do with an extra lock. But we just know the Lions don't have that kind of money. And so, yeah, for me, it'll be a Bulls or a Sharks type signing. But two-time World Cup winner, one of the best locks in the world on his day, he's going to have offers. He'll have offers in France, although, again, the injuries might say otherwise, but he'll definitely have offers in Japan. And from a money point of view, the Japan offers, I'm sure, will be the most lucrative option. So I'll be surprised if he does make the move back here. I think for him, it would probably be quite a good idea to sort of maybe almost sort of restart thing and sort of get back into an environment he's comfortable with. Kind of I wouldn't say get his career back on track. I mean, he's a two-time World Cup winner, which very few players are. But, you know, he's just not been able to play consistently. He's not been able to effect games domestically for the last 4 years, for the last World Cup cycle. And this is going to be another issue for him in the next 6 months. So I do think maybe a move would be a good idea for him, kind of a bit of a fresh start. Although I do think that he probably does feel a lot of loyalty towards Munster in terms of not being able to pay back the investment they've made in him. So it wouldn't surprise me if he actually does renew and say, no, I actually want to play for this club. I want to give back, you know, what you guys saw in me. And I think there's a certain amount of loyalty there involved. But what do you guys think? Let me know where you think you should go down in the comments below. Please do smash a like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Steve. I'll chat to you soon.